and welcome, everyone. My name is Sophia.
And I'm James. We're so excited to talk about a fun and easy way to improve your English through social media.
Social media is everywhere these days, and it's not just for posting pictures or chatting with friends. It can also help you learn English in a creative and interesting way.
Exactly. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and even Twitter are full of content in English. You can watch videos, read posts, or join groups to practice every day.
Right. Let's start with the first step, choosing the right social media platform. Not all of them are the same. For example, if you like short videos, TikTok might be great for you. Or if you prefer to read and comment, Facebook is a better choice.
And don't forget YouTube. YouTube is one of the best platforms for learning English. There are so many videos made by English teachers, plus subtitles to help you understand.
That's a great point. While watching, pay attention to the words and phrases people use. For example, if someone says, "Let's dive into this topic," they mean they're going to talk about it in detail.
Yes, and if you don't know what a word means, you can search for it online or use an app to translate.
Here's another tip. Follow pages or accounts that post in English about topics you enjoy. Love cooking? Follow food bloggers. Like sports? Find athletes who post in English.
Good advice. When you're interested in the topic, you'll stay motivated and learn new words naturally.
And remember, social media is also about interaction. Try leaving comments on posts or videos. Start with something simple, like "great post" or "I agree."
That's a good way to practice writing, and if someone replies to you, you can have a short conversation. It's fun and helps you learn real-life English.
Yes, but make sure to check for spelling and grammar before you post. It's a small step, but it helps you learn.
Also, listen carefully to how native speakers talk in videos. Repeat their sentences to practice pronunciation.
Oh, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learning a language takes time, and mistakes are a part of it.
Absolutely. Mistakes show that you're trying, and that's the most important thing.
Okay, so in this first part, we've talked about choosing the right platform, following accounts you like, and interacting with people. These are simple steps to start improving your English with social media.
Yes, and there's so much more to explore. Let's keep talking about how you can make the most of social media to boost your English skills.
That's right. Let's continue.
All right, let's dive right back into it. So, we've talked about how to get started with social media, but now let's explore how you can make it a daily habit for learning English. Consistency is the key, right, Sophia?
That's so true, James. A little practice every day goes a long way. The good thing about social media is that you don't need to set aside a lot of time. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can help you improve.
Exactly. You can start by setting a specific time to check English content. For example, while having your morning coffee or before going to bed, scroll through an English language page or watch a short video.
Yes, and during that time, focus on learning something new. Don't just scroll aimlessly. Pay attention to the posts, captions, or hashtags. For example, hashtags like #LearnEnglish, #EnglishPractice, or #EnglishTips can lead you to great content.
Good point. Hashtags are like shortcuts. They help you find specific topics like vocabulary, grammar, or even cultural expressions.
Speaking of cultural expressions, James, have you noticed how different social media trends teach slang and casual phrases?
Oh, absolutely. For instance, if someone comments LOL, it means laughing out loud. Or if you see ICYMI, that's in case you missed it. These little things are so common in daily English conversations.
Yes, it's like learning a new layer of the language. And here's a tip. When you see these abbreviations or slang words, write them down in a notebook or use Notes app.
Great idea. And it's not just about reading or watching. You can also create your own content in English. For example, post a picture with a simple caption like "a beautiful sunset" or "my favorite meal today."
That's a fantastic way to practice writing, and don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is to practice and build your confidence.
Another way to practice is by joining online communities. Facebook groups or Reddit forums focused on learning English are great places to connect with people who are also trying to improve.
And the best part, you're not just learning English, but also making friends from all over the world. You can exchange tips, ask questions, or even find a language partner.
A language partner is so helpful. You can practice speaking through voice messages or even video calls. Platforms like Instagram and WhatsApp make this so easy.
Absolutely, and don't forget about challenges on social media. For example, many English teachers post word of the day challenges or small quizzes. These are fun and keep you engaged.
Yes, one word a day doesn't feel like a lot, but by the end of the month, you'll have learned 30 new words. Imagine how much better your vocabulary will be after a year.
That's a great way to stay consistent. And remember, consistency doesn't mean perfection. If you miss a day, it's okay. Just get back to it the next day.
Right. The important thing is to make social media a regular part of your English learning routine. And since we're all on our phones anyway, why not make that time productive?
Exactly, James. It's about creating small habits. For example, following an English page, commenting on a post, or even just liking a video can help keep you in touch with the language every day.
And let's not forget listening practice. Watching Instagram Reels or TikTok videos in English is a great way to train your ear for different accents and speaking speeds.
True, start with videos that have subtitles. Read along as you listen, then, as you get better, challenge yourself to watch without subtitles and see how much you understand.
Oh, and one more thing, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you see a word or phrase you don't understand, comment and ask, "What does this mean?" People are usually happy to help.
That's such a good point. Social media is interactive, so take advantage of it.
All right, Sophia, so far we've covered using hashtags, writing captions, joining groups, participating in challenges, and even finding language partners.
Yes, all these ideas can help make social media a fun and effective part of your daily English practice. Shall we keep exploring more ways to boost learning?
Let's go for it.
Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about building a daily habit with social media, let's focus on some common challenges people face when learning English this way and how to overcome them.
That's a great idea, Sophia. Social media can be an amazing tool, but it's easy to get distracted. For example, instead of learning, you might end up watching funny cat videos for hours.
Exactly, James. The first challenge is staying focused. To avoid distractions, try setting a goal for your learning session. For example, tell yourself, "I'll learn 5 new words today," or "I'll watch 2 videos in English and write down important phrases."
That's a solid tip. Goals give you something to work toward. Another idea is to create a separate account just for learning English. Follow only English-related pages or accounts. That way, your feed is all about learning and you're less likely to get distracted.
Brilliant! I've seen many learners do that. Another challenge is feeling shy or unsure about your skills. For example, some people might feel nervous about commenting on a post in English because they're afraid of making mistakes.
That's so common, but it's important to remember that mistakes are part of learning. Most people on social media are kind and supportive, especially in English learning groups. And honestly, if someone corrects you, it's a chance to improve.
Exactly. And if you're not ready to comment publicly, start small. For example, write captions for your own posts or practice by writing in a private journal. The key is to build your confidence step by step.
Another challenge I hear about is understanding different accents or fast speech. Social media content comes from people all over the world, so you might hear British, American, Australian, or even non-native English accents.
That's true, but it's actually a good thing. Listening to different accents improves your understanding. Start with subtitles to help you catch the words, and gradually try to watch without them.
And don't forget, you can pause, rewind, and listen again. Social media makes it so easy to replay videos until you understand them.
Another helpful tool is slow mode on some platforms like YouTube. It lets you slow down the video while keeping the sound clear. It's perfect for practicing pronunciation or understanding tricky sentences.
Great tip, Sophia. Now, let's talk about the issue of too much content. Sometimes people feel overwhelmed by the amount of information out there.
Yes, that's a big one. My advice is to focus on quality, not quantity. Follow just a few accounts that you really enjoy and find helpful. It's better to deeply understand one lesson than to rush through 10.
And don't try to learn everything at once. For example, if you're watching a video, focus on one thing like new vocabulary or how the speaker pronounces certain words.
Right, it's about taking small steps. And here's an idea. Create a playlist or save posts that you find useful. Most platforms have a save button. Later, you can review those posts and reinforce what you've learned.
That's such a good habit. Oh, and speaking of habits, let's talk about balancing social media with other learning methods. Some people rely too much on social media and forget about things like books or real-life conversations.
True, social media is a great tool, but it works best when combined with other activities. For example, you can use it to learn vocabulary and then practice speaking with a friend or tutor.
And don't underestimate the value of writing. Use what you've learned on social media to write short stories, journal entries, or even blog posts.
That's a great way to make the learning stick. And James, what about people who feel they're not improving fast enough? That's another common challenge.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to feel that way, especially when you compare yourself to others. But everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your progress, not perfection.
Yes, and celebrate small wins. For example, if you understand a joke in English or learn a new slang word, that's progress. Give yourself credit for trying.
One last thing about challenges sometimes. The language on social media can be very informal or full of slang. This might confuse learners who are used to textbook English.
That's a great point. Social media is full of casual language, so it's important to know when to use it. For example, Ghana is fine for chatting online, but in formal situations, you should say going to.
Exactly. Understanding the difference between formal and informal English is a valuable skill. And if you're not sure, just look it up or ask someone in an English learning group.
So, to sum up, social media has its challenges, like distractions, shyness, or feeling overwhelmed. But with the right strategies like setting goals, focusing on quality content, and combining social media with other learning methods, you can use it effectively.
That's right. Social media isn't perfect, but if you stay consistent and keep trying, it can be an amazing way to improve your English. Shall we keep going with more tips?
Yes, let's keep the ideas coming.
All right, everyone, let's continue. We've talked about starting with social media, making it a habit, and even handling challenges. Now, let's focus on how to maximize social media for long-term English learning.
That's a great direction, James. One thing that's so important for long-term learning is variety. Social media has so much to offer: videos, articles, live streams, and even interactive quizzes. The more ways you expose yourself to English, the better.
Exactly. Let's start with videos. Watching short clips on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube is fantastic for learning everyday phrases and expressions. But for long-term growth, try watching longer content too, like interviews, documentaries, or tutorials.
Yes, for example, you can watch a YouTube tutorial on cooking, fixing something, or even make a poll in English. You'll not only learn English, but also gain knowledge about a topic you're interested in.
That's the best part, learning something useful while improving your English. And here's an idea. Take notes while watching. Write down key phrases or new vocabulary. Then, try to use those words in your own sentences.
That's such an effective method, James. And speaking of writing, how about using social media for journaling? Apps like Instagram or even Facebook let you write captions for your posts. Try writing a daily journal entry about your day in English and post it.
I love that idea, Sophia. It's a simple habit, but it builds your confidence in expressing yourself in English. And don't forget about reading. Platforms like Twitter or LinkedIn are great for reading short posts, articles, or even news in English.
Yes, reading improves your grammar, expands your vocabulary, and helps you understand sentence structure. When you see a post you like, try summarizing it in your own words. That way, you're practicing both reading and writing.
And for those who love interacting, live streams are an amazing resource. Many English teachers or influencers host live sessions where you can ask questions or join discussions in real time.
That's such a great way to practice listening and even speaking. Plus, live streams often use casual, everyday language, which helps you sound more natural when you speak.
Here's another tip. Participate in social media challenges. For example, join a 30-day English learning challenge where you learn one phrase or idiom every day. Challenges are fun and keep you motivated.
Absolutely. And if you're up for it, why not create your own challenge? For example, post one English sentence every day for a month. It could be about anything: what you ate, what you learned, or how you feel.
That's a creative way to stay engaged. And let's not forget podcasts. Many creators share short, easy-to-understand podcasts on Instagram or YouTube. Listening to them daily is a fantastic way to improve your listening skills.
Yes, and don't stop at listening. Write down your thoughts or questions about what you hear. Then, comment on the post or discuss it with a friend.
Now, Sophia, let's talk about staying motivated. Learning a language takes time, and it's easy to lose motivation. How can social media help with that?
Great question, James. One way to stay motivated is by tracking your progress. For example, use apps like Instagram Stories to create a visual diary of your English learning journey. Post what you've learned, and look back at how far you've come.
That's inspiring, and you can also follow success stories of other learners on social media. Seeing others achieve their goals can motivate you to keep going.
Exactly, and reward yourself for small achievements. For example, if you finish a video without subtitles or write a perfect comment in English, treat yourself to something you love.
That's a great idea. Rewards make learning feel exciting. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Social media connects you with millions of learners around the world.
Right, join discussions, participate in polls, or even start conversations in the comment sections. The more you engage, the more confident you'll become in using English.
One last tip, Sophia, follow creators who teach about culture as well as language. Learning about the culture behind English helps you understand phrases, jokes, and even traditions better.
That's such an important point, James. Language and culture go hand in hand. For example, if you're watching a video about Thanksgiving, you'll not only learn new words, but also understand how people celebrate it.
Absolutely. Social media opens up the world to you. It's not just about learning a language, it's about connecting with people and understanding their stories.
So, to wrap it up, social media can be an incredible tool for learning English, as long as you use it wisely. Watch videos, read posts, write captions, join challenges, and most importantly, interact with others.
And don't forget to have fun. Learning is easier when you enjoy it.
That's right. We hope you found these tips helpful. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your family and friends.
Yes, spread the word. We're here to help you on your English learning journey. See you next time, and take care.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy learning.